What is going on, world? It's the Ravi&Ray show. We are back, man. We are back in town. Can't wait to get it going. Let's get it started, Ravi. What do we got today?
Let's get it started hot, man. We'll get it started hot in here, just like the Lamar Jackson contract situation. Lamar Jackson is officially ruled out again after initially suffering that MCL sprain.
PCL.
Yes, PCL sprain.
Yeah.
Thank you. Back in week 13, it was deemed to be a 1 to 3 week injury, but here we are, Ray, in the wild card round, and Lamar Jackson is nowhere to be seen. Sometimes seen on the sideline. How do you feel about the Lamar Jackson contract situation? Do you think that's what's holding him out? And we just had a massive signing, the highest paid interior linebacker, Roquan Smith, signing a 5-year, $100 million, $60 million guaranteed. Some guarantee that could have went towards Lamar, but no. Here we are, Ray. How do you feel about the Lamar Jackson contract situation?
Well, first and foremost, as far as the Roquan Smith contract, well deserved. Like, I think he's the best middle linebacker in football. Just
I
pure
agree.
middle linebacker. I think he deserves to have the title as the best. I know some other people would say otherwise, but I think that he's fantastic at what he does. As far as coverage and also he's just a tackling machine. His last game against the Cincinnati Bengals, he had 16 tackles in that game alone. So I mean, he's just an absolute monster. He's a tackling machine. So I'm happy we have him for 5 years. As far as the Lamar Jackson situation goes, yeah, reports had said that it was a grade 1 PCL injury, which takes about 1 to 3 weeks to heal. But that, like I said, that's the media that was saying that. Lamar never said that. The team never said that. It was the media that said that. And then after that, then I think everything just takes off. But I'm happy that Lamar went on his Twitter and kind of talked about it, because like I said, it's just always going to be like, oh, is he holding out? He's the one who's not trying to play. He is the one who doesn't want to. I'm sure he does want to play, but it's a grade 2 PCL injury. Obviously, those are a lot more extensive. And it depends on he obviously saw swelling around his knee, so he's not going to go out there not 100%. If he can't beat Lamar, there's no point of going out there. So we're not going to have him this weekend. It sucks. I expect the Ravens to be one and done this week. But as far as the contract situation goes, man, it's a bummer, dude. It's a bummer. I'm very sad. It sucks. The Ravens just dropped the ball. I mean, they dropped the ball. They had 5 years to get this right. They had 5 years to get it right, man. And honestly, I really thought that they could have gotten this right this year. I'm not saying that they just didn't give him any weapons. Like, I kind of regret them. I don't regret it, but I do, because Tyler Linderbaum, who's our center, we picked him. That's who we got for the Marquise Brown trade, Hollywood Brown. He's actually one of the best centers in the league right now, and he's a rookie. So he's going to be one of the best centers in the league for a really long time. However, that's an added weapon that we just lost. We could have really used him this year because Bateman's gone. So, you know what I mean? We could have had somebody for him to throw the ball to. But, man, dude, like, it's ridiculous. They just did him hella dirty. Like, they didn't give him any. Like, I get it. Mark Andrews, he's the exception. He's the only guy that I can say, like, yeah, aside from him, he was solid. Hollywood wasn't a number 1, but I think he could be a great number 2. I think he could be a good slot receiver as well. But, Bateman, he's just had a lot of health problems since he's came in the league. He hasn't been able to stay healthy, which is really sucky, because I really love Bateman a lot. But dude, they never gave him anything, man. They never tried. Instead of trading a 2nd and a 5th for a wide receiver this year, they went and got Roquan Smith. I'm happy about Roquan. I really am. But like, in this situation with your number 1 receiver going down, with Devin Duvernay going down, you would think that they would have been like, hey, maybe we should try to trade for somebody and get somebody for him. They didn't. They picked up Sammy Watkins. Are you kidding me? Then they picked up Deshaun Jackson. Are you kidding me? And then you know what they did? They just cut Deshaun Jackson. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, they cut him. So the Raven fans are like, really? The guy who can take the top off of the defense, that has the most speed. I mean, I get it. He's 35 years old, but he still got that speed. You still got to respect his speed. you take that deep threat away, like what's going on? Like I don't understand. And it just I know this is not about the contract right now, like what I'm about to say, but like it just frustrates me when Harbaugh says like, yeah, I just need our receivers, like our receivers need to go out there and make plays. I'm like, really, dude? Like make plays? You don't even throw them the ball. You don't even give these guys a chance to even, like, they don't even get any targets. They don't get nothing. And then when they do, it's horrible route running. It's horrible play calling, and it's dude, it's just a mess, man. It's a mess. I hope and pray Lamar doesn't even play another game for the Ravens. I really hope he doesn't. I hope we trade him to a team that actually will put pieces around him so that way he could be. I'm always going to be a Ravens fan no matter what. Obviously, I'm not going to be one of those guys that's just going to, wherever Lamar goes, I go. I'm not doing that. I'm always going to stick with the Ravens for life, but we really messed up with a Joe Flacco situation after the Super Bowl. I mean, at least he won us a Super Bowl. Happy about that. But that contract wasn't worth it. And now look at I feel like we did get it right with Lamar, but now he's about to be out. We're probably going to trade him for sure. I wouldn't be shocked. There's no way we can keep this guy. Like, I don't think we have the money for him. I don't know how we can keep him. I don't know.
Does Lamar Jackson play on a franchise tag next year?
Yeah, no. So what's gonna happen is because the Ravens aren't just gonna let him walk. That's dumb. Like if I was a franchise, I wouldn't let him walk either. So what I would do is they're gonna do the franchise tag. I think who's the highest paid QB in the game right now? It's Deshaun.
Yeah. Yes. Let's go with Deshaun.
So if because I read Lamar Jackson Lamar Jackson gets franchise tag, he still won't be the highest paid quarterback in the game. Guaranteed. He still won't be. I think the quarterback there will be a couple quarterbacks that will be making more than him still, just on that 1 year franchise tag. So the Ravens will be smart. They're going to franchise tag him. Lamar doesn't have to play for them. He really doesn't. He doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do at that moment. And I think they're going to trade him to a team that's going to want him. And supposedly that team might be the Jets. I've been hearing about that. Washington is another team who needs a quarterback. The Giants may be in contention for that as well, but Daniel Jones seems pretty good. Seems like he really rebound, but I don't really know about that. But yeah, just little things like that too. So it's just going to be really interesting, man, to see what happens as far as that whole situation goes. But yeah, the Ravens dropped the ball, man. We really screwed up. We screwed up big time, and I hope we learn from it. That's all I can say. I hope that the next quarterback we get, he's going to come in the league and he's not going to have it. I mean, he'll have Bateman back, which is nice. He'll have Duvernay back, which is nice. But, once again, that coordinator's got to go. Our coordinator he has to go. He can't. Greg Roman, he needs to get fired. And we need to start being up with the league. The league is a pass-happy league, and running the ball all the time isn't going to get you anywhere. We can't even put up more than 20 points. I don't think we put up more than 15 points in the last 4 or 5 games.
We got a couple comments for you to answer, Ray. You ready?
I am.
Your buddy Steve said, should he be the highest paid?
Well, if you're asking me if you're asking me, should he be the highest paid? No, he shouldn't be the highest paid, because I think the highest paid player in the league deserves to be Patrick Mahomes. I would put Josh Allen in there. I think I would always put those guys first, but because of the market, because of the league right now, because of the market, I understand that you would have to make him the highest paid. Because to quarterbacks, because when Joe Burrow gets his contract, he's going to be the highest paid. He's going to be getting paid way more than Patty Mahomes for sure.
But here's the thing, real quick. We got another comment after this. But Patrick Mahomes initially had a $50 million contract. Restructured it to a $45 million contract. He is the 5th highest paid QB. The 6th highest paid QB, also taking a team-friendly deal, is Josh Allen at $43 million. So Lamar Jackson wants to be the highest paid, which at number 1 is Aaron Rodgers at 50.2. So you think Lamar deserves 50.3?
50.3. Dude, I don't think any quarterback in this league deserves 50.3, bro. That's freaking crazy money.
Yeah.
I don't believe any quarterback deserves that, to be honest with you. But I mean, that's just how this how the league is now, man. I mean, for like I said, like if Lamar does be the highest paid, right? Everyone's gonna say he doesn't deserve to be the highest paid. What about Joe Burrow? What about Justin Herbert? When their contracts are going to come up, they're going to make more than Lamar. So it's just going to keep everyone's just going to keep flip flopping. You know what I mean? And it's just going to keep going higher and higher. So should he be the highest paid? No, but he's going to be. I'm saying no. I don't think so, but he's going to be.
That's the thing. It's like that everyone's like, oh, Lamar just wants the money. He just wants to be the highest paid, this and that. But Patrick Mahomes should be paid more than him. But Patrick Mahomes taking a pay cut. So Aaron Rodgers, that one's up for debate. If you take Aaron Rodgers or Lamar, number 2, Russell Wilson or Lamar, you're taking Lamar. Number 3, Kyler or Lamar. That's a little close, but I'd still take Lamar. Number 4, Deshaun Watson or Lamar. I'd still take Lamar. So, I mean, like, these guys are our top 4 paid QBs, and I would say at least 3 out of 4 of them, I would take Lamar over them. And that's the thing. So, I mean, the man wants the money. Somebody's going to pay him, man. Somebody's going to pay him. And maybe Rudy had it just right. He said Lamar to the Raiders. Could Lamar Jackson be going to the Vegas Raiders? How do you feel about that?
It could happen. It really could happen, because if it does happen, I mean, I always had said, I really do think the Raiders are a quarterback away from actually doing something. I mean, they have the pieces there. They have a good nucleus on the offensive side. I mean, you're starting with one of the best top 3 receivers in the game, Devontae Adams. Then you have, I know Darren Waller's been injured a lot, but when he's healthy, he's a great player. And you have a good tight end right there. And then, I mean, I'm not saying their offensive line's the best in the league, but I think it's a good, decent offensive line, especially when you have Lamar who can maneuver around the pocket easily with ease. So and I don't know if they're going to sign Josh Jacobs back, though. That's really the only. If they kept Josh Jacobs, that would be pretty deadly.
How do you afford all these with Devontae Adams being the top paid receiver, or almost somewhere around the top paid receiver?
Yeah.
Darren Waller on a fat contract. Josh Jacobs might reset the running back market. You got your left tackle Colton Miller, who's really good. He's going to want some money. Max Crosby, is probably going to want some money, bang the table, and they got to get they're quite some pieces away on defense too. I think I would say that the Raiders are a little bit more than a quarterback away at this point. But if Lamar goes to the Raiders, and you see Lamar Jackson on the backfield, you see Josh Jacobs. On X, you see Devontae Adams. At tight end, you see Darren Waller. There's going to be plenty of defensive coordinators that's not going to be able to sleep at night.
Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the Raiders are definitely more than, I would say, a quarterback away. And then going over to the Derek Carr situation, Carr officially has said his goodbyes to the Raiders today, and everyone is saying that the Raiders are looking to shop Derek Carr. But do you think a team will go out there and trade for Derek Carr with a 33? He has a 33. I have his contract right here. He has a 33 million cap hit this year. 34, sorry. 43 next year and 43 the following year. How many teams do you think will be running out to going and trading for Derek Carr?
Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting him and Jimmy Garoppolo a little bit confused, because do the Raiders have an option to cut him with and just take the dead money?
They do, and they will be receiving a 5.6 million in dead money if they cut him pre-June 1. And everybody's saying that he's going to be traded sooner than later. But if they cut him post June 1, so after June 1, it drops down to just 1.875. I think it's a Jimmy G situation where Derek Carr is going to have to just kind of sit on the sideline. He's going to have to let free agency go in. And I don't think a trade for Derek Carr will actually happen. I think the Vegas Raiders might actually end up having to cut Derek Carr post to June 1
Yeah.
and save that $4 million in cap space.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know who the hell was going to pay somebody $33 million for a middle to below average quarterback. I personally don't understand that. I don't get that. So it's going to be, yeah, if I'm the Raiders, I'm keeping him post June 1st. I'm saving that money, taking the 1.7. That's incredible to take that cap hit. I'm taking that cap hit.
Yeah.
And just saying goodbye to him, and he'll be a free agent, and I'm sure there'll be a quarterback out there that maybe gets injured. There's always a quarterback that gets injured every year. They'll probably pick Derek Carr up. Maybe not for that contract, not for that money, but I think you part ways with him, man, and that's it. Because I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but you guys, the Raiders did have the best running back in the game this year. Josh Jacobs, he had the most yards, so I think he was the best.
Best wide receiver.
Yeah, one of the best wide receivers. I know Darren Waller was on and off. I understand that he wasn't healthy, but still, given all that, they still weren't. You know what I mean? Like they weren't the top team, and I guess maybe it was the head coach. I don't really know, man. I just know there was a lot of dysfunction there in that organization. But I think you just part ways with him, man, and go clean. If they're gonna go in the draft, the way that they fell in the draft, I mean, you're looking at Will Levi. I think that's his name. Will Levi from Kentucky. He's the only guy I think that probably could be there at that spot. I don't think Justin. Is it? No, not Fields.
CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. I apologize. CJ Stroud. Yeah, I think he's not going to fall that far.
No.
No.
And I'm blanking on the other guy's name from Bama.
Oh, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Yeah, he's not going to fall that far either, I think. I think both of them are going to – they might even go 1 and 2, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about Justin Fields? What about trading?
Yeah, what's with the – explain to me the Justin Fields situation. He's the quarterback for those who don't know. He's the quarterback for the Bears, and it's his first year, right? It was his first year here. He was a rookie.
Second year.
Oh, second year.
Well, first pro year. Last year was his rookie year.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So what's the deal with that? I've been hearing you say that a lot, and I'm confused by that.
So the Bears GM came out and said about drafting a quarterback that he will have to evaluate everybody in the draft like he always done, pretty much leaving the door open from them moving on from Justin Fields after he showed massive progress from year 1 to year 2. They could potentially go towards CJ Stroud or Bryce Young and maybe ship Justin Fields out of town. Some people are saying maybe a first and a third. I would take a first and a third for Justin Fields. I would do that. Especially being a Patriots fan, I'll take a first and a third. I'll take Justin Fields off your hand. So the Bears GM left the door wide open, and a lot of people are speculating that the Bears will not trade down and will take one of the 2 quarterbacks up there.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is wild. I mean, can you imagine a world where Justin Fields gets traded after he showed massive year 1 to year 2 progress? Josh Allen.
No wide receivers.
Yeah. Who did he have? He had Darnell Mooney, not a number 1. They traded for Chase Claypool midway through the season. New playbook.
Horrible.
Barely catch on. And it's horrible. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible. And now because of that, the Steelers have the first pick in the second round. Because of that trade. I'm sure you hate that.
Yeah, for sure.
You got David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert. They weren't getting the job done. Cole Kmet, he came on towards the end of the season. No offensive line. Traded Roquan Smith. Cut Akeem Hicks. Cut so many key pieces out of there. And I know they had the worst record, but Justin Fields was not the reason for that. Justin Fields is the reason why they didn't go 0-17, honestly.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Instead of investing in Justin Fields, they might look to go towards another option. It's kind of crazy to think.
Yeah, dude. And I feel like it's the same situation, man. Like, and I don't mean to bring up the Baltimore thing, but like with Justin Fields, like if you don't put pieces around him, good pieces around him, he's never going to show his real potential.
Yeah.
He'll never show his real potential. So if Chicago does get rid of him, I mean, realistically, it's Houston, right? He would have to go to Houston because there's no other team. Who has the number 1 pick this year?
The Chicago Bears.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Bears.
Yeah.
So aside from the Bears, Well, damn. Yeah, I don't know what they do.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I
What
don't
would
know
you
what they
do?
do.
What would you do if you're the Bears GM?
I really don't know. I mean, you can try to trade down. You could trade down.
That's that's the most common sense answer ever. I don't
Yeah,
understand
trade
why they
down
don't do
and
that.
get this man some weapons.
Yeah.
Trade down hella far. If you have to trade down, no, I'm not saying out of the first round or anything, but at least a mid-first round pick.
I don't even think they need to trade down to mid, dude. I think they can trade down and still be in the top 10 and still get a massive amount of picks. How much did the Bears give the Niners just to move up or one pick up into the draft?
When they got Trey Lance?
No, the year that the Bears took Mitchell Trubisky, they traded up one pickup and they got like 2 first rounders out of it or something like that. It's crazy. Like you get it. Get Will Anderson out of Alabama. I think that'd be a great edge rusher. Who's the defensive tackle? Jalen Carter out of Georgia. I think just some key pieces on defense would do this team so good. And honestly, the first person off the board might be Bryce Young. The second might be C.J. Stroud. And you can trade back to 3 or 4, and you can still take rather Will Anderson or Jalen Carter.
So do you think that if just say none of the franchises, right? The Bears call everybody, hey, Justin Fields on the market. Everyone's like, you know what? We don't want that. We don't want him. We're good. Do you think the Bears are just going to end up getting a quarterback anyways? In your personal opinion?
No, I don't think so. What do you think?
I think they might.
You think so?
I think they might, dude. And if they do, I mean, damn, Justin Fields, man, I don't really know what I would be pissed off if I was him, but like, I don't really know, like, to be honest with you, because I think the kid can ball, man. I think he can really ball. I think he's a great player. He just needs some weapons around him.
So tell me this, okay? The Colts have the number 4 pick in the draft now, right?
Yeah.
If I'm the Colts and I'm not getting C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, why not drop a first and a second and go get Justin Fields, or a first and a third? Would you do it if you're the Colts?
Well, they got a damn. That's really tough. Yeah, I probably would, because they got an extremely good offensive line. They have one of the best running backs. I mean, I know he didn't have a good season this year, but he's still a really good running back. I mean, Michael Pittman on the outside. They had to upgrade their wide receiving core too. That's the only thing that they would need to do is upgrade that wide receiving core.
Free agency, I think they can do it. Would you do it if you're the Detroit Lions at pick 6?
Oh man, if I'm the Lions at pick 6, I'm going for Lamar Jackson, dude. Like, if you're asking the Justin Fields situation,
forget Lamar for a second.
Yeah, I would. I would. I really love Justin Fields. I think he's a great player.
Atlanta Falcons, pick 8. Tell me you wouldn't do that.
Calvin Ridley's coming back for sure.
The Carolina Panthers at pick 9. I would do that.
Oh, 100%.
And what about the Las Vegas Raiders at pick 7? There's so many teams that need a quarterback this year. It's insane. Justin Fields, I think, will be traded, and somebody's going to see those flashes. He was like less than 100 yards away from breaking Lamar's season rushing record, and if he was healthy, likely he would have gotten those yards.
Oh, he would have beat it for sure.
Yeah, he missed a few games. He would have most likely beaten it. And tell me you wouldn't go out and get a guy like that. He's shown steady progress. Josh Allen, in his first couple years, people were throwing Josh Allen out the woodworks. People hated Josh Allen. They were ready to run him out of Buffalo. And he kept progressing. Brian Daboll helped him. They brought Stephon Diggs into town. And now look at Josh Allen. We're viewing him as maybe the best quarterback, if not the top 3 in the league right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Justin Fields is a top 3 or maybe he has the talent to be a top 3. But if you're telling me that I can drop a later top 10 pick and get someone like Justin Fields because I missed out on C.J. Stroud, because I messed up on Bryce Young, if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm calling the Bears. I'll give you a first, and you take our first rounder from a few years ago. Take Clelin Ferrell. You want to take that? I'll even throw in a later 5th round if you want it. That's fine. Well, that's pretty much our 2 first rounds right there. Take them. Tell me you wouldn't do that in a second.
I do it, man. I
But if
do
you're
it.
the Bears, would you do that too? Because now you just took CJ Stroud. Now you can come back, or Bryce Young, and then now you can come back around and get one of these defensive pieces. It makes sense, man. It makes sense why the Bears could move on from Justin Fields. I think it still sounds a little crazy, but it does make sense, Ray.
Yeah, it really does, and it's just wild, man. And we'll see, man. It's gonna be another crazy drama-filled off season. It's gonna be freaking wild, man.
I can't wait for it, honestly.
Me
And now
too.
we're gonna get into a drama-filled wild card round of the playoffs. We got 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and oddly enough, a game on Monday, which is a little head scratcher. Why would you have a team play on Monday, giving them a
It's
short
pretty
week?
stupid.
It is what it is, Ray. Let's go one by one, real quick, break each game down. Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Niners. Who are you taking in that one?
Well, obviously, I'm going to take the 49ers on this one. However, I think for the Niner fans out there that are thinking that this game is just going to be a breeze, you're crazy. Because from the last time I saw, don't quote me. I don't really know. I just went on Google and I kind of typed in the weather. I heard the weather's not supposed to be pretty good in Santa Clara.
It's going to be storming.
It's going to be storming.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened the last time? Do you remember, Robbie? I'm going to give you a little trivia thing here. Do you remember what happened this year when it was storming? They had Trey Lance and they lost against a really bad team.
In a monsoon against
remember
the
what
Bears.
The team that was?
The Bears.
The Bears. Remember, everyone was like, oh, the Bears suck, and they lost.
Yeah.
So, but remember, they had Trey Lance. This is Brock Purdy. So he's not a first stringer. He's not a second stringer. I get it. Brock Purdy's been doing really good. I understand that. But this is a huge test. In Seattle, they have their number 1 quarterback, Geno Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's 2 teams that know each other really well, it's these 2 guys, right? It's these 2 teams right here. So for the Niner fans out there, like, honestly, man, I wouldn't be like so sure that you're just going to be like, oh my God, we're going to like totally destroy these guys, because they're your division rivals and it's going to be extremely stormy. So whoever's run game is going to be the best is going to win this game. And whoever takes care of the football is going to win this game. So it's going to be really fun to see. I'm excited to see this football game. I think it's going to be a dogfight to the end. And I seriously think a field goal is going to win this game.
At this point in the season, when you're this far in, Ray, records don't matter. Regular season doesn't matter. Off season doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. When you get to this point in the season, this is your starting 0-0. That's what it is. You're starting 0-0 and you have to go on a 4-0 run to get to the Super Bowl and win it. And if you're telling me we're 0-0, forget records, this game's going to be in Santa Clara, but it's going to be storming, I would not be surprised if the Seattle Seahawks goes into San Francisco or Santa Clara and takes care of business, honestly. I think it's definitely possible. Geno Smith, career backup, resurgence year. He's been doing phenomenal. These guys have been trained with Pete Carroll, who's came out and said, he was like, we're not taking this lightly. So I think this game is going to be very close, just like you said. The running advantage I still might give to the San Francisco Niners. But for me, it's not going to come down to running, because I think both these teams will go do really good in running. For me, I feel like this game's going to come down to, when the game's on the line, which team can make that throw. And if you're telling me you're going to go with a career backup in Geno Smith, who had a resurgence here, or Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, that's a tough one, man. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be really fun to see. I'm still going to pick the Niners as a safe pick on this one. But I would not be surprised for a second if Seattle goes in there and wins that game. Moving on to Saturday night, we got the Battle of the Hair. We got the winner of the AFC South, Jacksonville Jaguars, hosting Justin Herbert and the Chargers in his first career playoff game. Who are you taking on this one? Which hair are you taking? First of all, before you tell me who you're going to win, who has the better hair?
Who has the better hair?
Trevor
Lawrence, bro, it's got to be Trevor Lawrence, man. Trevor Lawrence got that. Trevor Lawrence got that hair, man.
I don't know. Justin Herbert got a little bit of curls in the back too going. I don't know. It's close.
Honestly, man, for this particular game, I'm going for fucking Jacksonville. I'm going for Jacksonville, but I know they're not going to win.
Yeah.
I'm being honest here. I really think that the Chargers are going to win this football game, but I really want to see the underdog win in this matchup. I have no beef with the Jacksonville Jaguars at all. I love their franchise. I think they're cool. They always lose all the time, so it's just kind of fun to see them in there. But yeah, dude, I think the Chargers are going to take this game. They should take this game, and I think they have the better offense, defense all around, and I think that they're going to be victorious Saturday night.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one, bud, because I am taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am loving T-Law's hair. I'm loving what they've been getting going. The last few weeks, they've been on fire, honestly. Christian Kirk's been balling. Evan Ingram's been balling. Travis Etienne's getting his footwork going. But more importantly, the quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, has been doing great. The defense is doing what they need to do just to sneak out that win and keep up with the offense. And the most important thing, it's you taking Brandon Staley or you taking Doug Peterson, who is a former Super Bowl champion with the Eagles. I'm taking Doug. I think the Jaguars are going to squeak by this game, but honestly, not just squeak by. I think they're going to actually blow the LA Chargers out and make them look like clowns in this game. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will be moving on to the division round in this one.
Damn, that's a hell of a prediction, man.
It's not a prediction, man. It's a spoiler because it's going to happen. I'm letting you know right now. It's going to happen. Moving on to to Sunday, we got the Buffalo Bills playing the Dolphins. I think everybody is counting the Dolphins out because now officially no Tua. Tua will not be playing this game officially. So I think everybody is counting the Dolphins out, including me. I think the Buffalo Bills will stomp on them very, very, very badly. Just like when the Patriots had to play them in the first round last year. They scored on pretty much every single play, never punted the ball. I think it'll be on just like that situation. I don't think the Dolphins have a chance. What do you think, Ray?
Oh, yeah, dude. The Dolphins are done. I mean, honestly, if they had Tua, I would say, hey, man, this is going to be one hell of a game for sure. But, 100%. Dude, they're not going to win it, man. Sorry, Ross, out there. Your team's going to lose, unfortunately, on Sunday. Yeah, dude, the Buffalo Bills are going to annihilate the Miami Dolphins for sure.
Yep. Agreement on this one, but this one I could see going either way. Minnesota Vikings, which Kirk Cousins are we going to see against Danny Dimes and the Giants? Who are you taking on this one? I have to think about this one for a sec, so I want to hear yours first.
Dude, I'm going to go with Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota on this one. I just think that, man, and I get why why the hesitation is. What Kirk Cousins are we going to get here? Are we going to get trash Kirk Cousins or the good Kirk Cousins? I don't think Kirk Cousins needs to be trash good. He just needs to just make the right throw. He just needs to make the right play. And that's I think that's just getting the ball into Justin Jefferson's hands. They got to get him going early. And I think if they can do that and run the ball effectively with Cook, I think they're going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be as close of a game as people think. Because I don't think it's going to be that close of a game personally, but I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings on this one.
Got you. I am going to take I'm going to take Minnesota too. I want to give the Giants all the credit in the world, but that's what the Giants have been doing this season. When everybody counts them out, they just win. That's the reason why they made it this far. That they just keep winning, honestly. But I think it all stops here. As long as Kirk Cousins doesn't think it's a primetime game, I think it'll be fine. Just like you said, get the ball rolling with Cook, get Jay Jettas involved early. Have him stretch the field and then come down low to Thielen and Hawkinson. I think the Vikings will win, but I think it's going to be a closer one than we're all thinking. But this game, I want to see, are you sticking with the Baltimore Ravens? Because now they are traveling to Cincy. No Lamar Jackson. Tyler Huntley is starting, right?
Yeah, so Tyler Huntley, but so the thing is too is that Tyler Huntley has a right shoulder injury and a right wrist
Mhm,
injury. That is his throwing arm.
mhm.
So he's been limited every single week of practice. Is he going to play it? Well, of course he's going to play. They're probably going to shoot him up with them with some good old meds, and he's going to go out there and try to give it his best. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if our backup. I think his name is Anthony. I forgot his last name, but I know it starts. I know his first name starts with Anthony. But yeah, he made his first pro start against the Bengals too. Um, but obviously, as a Ravens fan, of course, I'm going to go for my team. Are we going to win? Absolutely not. No way. We're not going to win this football game. Um, we don't have an offense. We can't score more than 15 points in a football game. We're not going to win. Like, it's impossible. This team, if you want to beat the Bengals, you got to score more. That you got to score at least 30 or more.
Mhm.
If you really want to beat this football team, because their offense is so potent. T. Higgins has a hip injury. Is he going to play? Do I expect him to play still? Probably. I don't think he's going to get ruled out. I hope he does make it a lot easier for the Ravens because we can triple team, quadruple team Jamar Chase.
I can just guard him.
But dude, he's probably going to play. They still got Higgins. They still got a hell of an offense, and most importantly, they still got Burrow. If
Yeah.
the Ravens were going to win this game, Lamar needed to come back and he needed to play. And yeah, dude, it's over, man. This is a one and done football team for the Ravens. We're not even going to score more than 15 points, and it's done. Done for us.
My Super Bowl favorites is honestly the Bengals. I don't see the Bills stopping the Bengals. I don't see the Jags. The Chiefs are the only caveat, but Burrow somehow has Mahomes' number. I'm definitely taking the Bengals. And by the way, you were thinking of Anthony Brown. That's his name. The
Anthony
third
Brown.
stringer. Um, Tyler Huntley, Anthony Brown, whoever you got, I don't think they can go toe to toe with this Cincinnati Bengals team. It's, I guess, an obvious pick here. We're all going with Cincy, but Baltimore has way more playoff experience. Like we said earlier, it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season. It just matters this week what you do today. So I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think the safe pick is the Bengals on this one.
And it's
Um,
crazy too. And I'm sorry to cut you off, Robbie.
yeah.
And like we were saying with like the Seattle game and the San Francisco game, the Miami and the Buffalo game, the Baltimore and Cincinnati game, like those are division rivals.
Mhm.
So, and plus, I guess the one thing that can give Baltimore a little bit, I would say more of a credit to them than Miami and Buffalo or Seattle and San Francisco is that Baltimore did versus Cincinnati last week.
Mhm.
So, I mean, how much more familiar can you get? Literally. I
Yeah.
mean, we did versus Joe Burrow for, I think, the whole game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they took him out later on, but we did play him. And then we had our starting defense in there, which wasn't even at full capacity either because we had players that we just benched.
It's kind of
But,
like this, it's kind of like the same thing with the Seahawks and the Niners game. It's a division game where anything can happen. Anything can happen.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's gonna be a close one. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Tampa Bay, taking on old man Brady, who has never ever lost to the Cowboys. He is 7-0 against the Dallas Cowboys in his entire career. Is he getting that one this week, Ray?
Dude, I think Tom Brady's gonna I think he's gonna lose this game. I think the
Oh,
Dallas Cowboys are gonna win this football game. If the Dallas Cowboys don't win this football game, I honestly don't know I don't even know what they do with their franchise moving forward. Like I really don't know. I heard Dak hasn't been playing the best football he's been playing. Um Tom Brady's obviously seeming like he's the old Tom Brady of old a little bit with him reconnecting with Mike Evans and I still don't know how healthy that team is, that football team.
mhm.
But right now, Dallas should be able to really lock down Tom Brady from a defensive standpoint, especially when they have a tremendously good defense. And I think they just need to run the ball effectively for Dallas. Have Dak Prescott. He doesn't need to make anything crazy. Don't do any crazy throws. Just make the right necessary throws, and he'll be fine. As far as Tom and the Bucks, they got to run the ball, dude. They got to run the ball effectively, man. Because that's I think it starts with through the running game. Tom can't just, for whatever reason, he just can't sit there back there and pick everybody apart like he used to. They got to run that ball in order for him to get that play action going. and take a deep shot down the field to Mike Evans.
Mhm.
But yeah, dude, I think Dallas is gonna win. They should win. They should win.
They should win, but it's such a Dallas thing to choke and lose over here. I know in 4th and 1 in our other podcast, last year when the Super Bowl ended, we did our Super Bowl predictions, and everybody called me crazy when I said, I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. And I'm here to tell you that I was completely wrong because I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to go to the Super Bowl. They're going to be one and done, man. I think Old Man Brady is going to go 8-0 against Dallas, and I think he is going to take him out. Dak has thrown a pick in his last 7 straight games. He's tied the league for most picks this year, and he missed a few games. He tied the league for the most interceptions, and he missed a few games. Dak is super been playing super bad. There's just no way around it. And playoff experience, man. I think that's what it's going to go down to. The Cowboys should win this game. They should, but I don't think they will get it done. I think Brady is going to win this game, and I would not be surprised if this game's a blowout.
Wow, you're gonna say as far as a blowout?
I could see this game being a blowout.
You know what, Robbie? I just realized right now, this might sound hella stupid, but I just realized why they put it on Monday. It's because of the freaking Cowboys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why.
I didn't even think about that. I was like, it's the Cowboys. And plus, I'm sure it's Tom Brady because they might think it might be Tom Brady's last hoorah. Like it might be his last time we see him. So, yeah, makes sense. All the viewers, everybody's going to be tuned in on Monday night.
That's what it is.
For the views.
That's what it is, man. And I can't wait. We got 6 great games, and then we got the Eagles and the Chiefs playing next week. We'll see who will be playing who will win out where. And until next week, that'll do it for today. We got a few more comments. My mom said, "Hi, boys." Amber said, "Raiders to the Super Bowl." That's definitely never going to happen. And my wife said, "Hola." That'll do it for the Ravi and Ray show. Until next time, peace.
Peace.